I'm back with a review. Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost Part 1 by the now 4-piece band Foals. Foals started off as more of a math rock band and veered off in a completely different direction, and this album shows that. But starting out with their 2008 debut Antidotes, which featured a lot of punchy guitar riffs and minimalist drums and funky bass lines. Then to their 2010 Total Life Forever album, which really put the band way up there. They then started to tease towards darker undertones in their songs and their music with the release of their 2013 album Holy Fire. Now we see this in songs like Inhaler and Providence. It's quite clear that they've taken different elements from their really successful Total Life Forever album and their debut Antidote and made it more guitar orientated. At the same time, those two songs don't really belong on that album. The majority are just filler songs. It feels quite 2D, and it just leaves you wanting more of this kind of darker undertones. It feels like the band is being restricted, as if they want to experiment with different sounds, but they just can't. There's something stopping them. Which is what brings me to their Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost Part 1 album. There's less to minimal restrictions. I mean, at the end of the day, they ended up, for the first time ever probably, producing their own album. So there is quite a lot of freedom here, I think. Everything Not Saved Will Be Lost is kind of as a commentary of the cynical times that we live in and how we are basically going through some sort of existential crisis. There's a lot of disarray in our world currently, and what a perfect time to release an album like that making such commentary. But basically this album features a lot of synths and a lot of rhythmic percussion. There is that sort of feel where they are experimenting, and I feel like when you're listening to it, it is quite liberating. It is quite fun to listen to. You can tell by listening to it that they had some fun producing it as well, most likely. I don't know. I'm not going to be the judge of that, but it certainly is quite good. It is a good album. My favorite song on the whole album, Exits. I love the way it's been composed. I love the way it's got such attention to detail. I love the lyrics, the vocals, the instrumentals. I just love everything about this song. I really have no criticism whatsoever. So let's move on to the next song, In Degrees. Now I really like the bass line in this particular song. I think it's really groovy. I fucking love it. It's nice. And it really brings out the rest of the good parts of the song. Well, everything's good about the song as well. Again, there's a lot of attention to detail, so it's quite clear that this is a band who really take pride in their craft of music making. And I really like that. It really does pay off. And you see this in this song and in Exits. So moving on to Syrups. Sorry, not Syrup. This is more of a low-key song. It's definitely got this constant bass and drum thing going on throughout the whole song. And it really strings it all together and leads on to that moment where that guitar comes in. And wow, is it beauty, sheer beauty from then on. When near the end of the song it just speeds in a bit and the pace picks up and you just don't want it to end. It's good, but it's a little bit bland. It does feel a teeny weeny bit too repetitive, especially when you're comparing to other tracks that are beautiful, like Exits and In Degrees. I just think White Onions is just, it's good for, like, you know, it has a good punch to it, good oomph. It's, you know, energetic. I definitely really like those strings. To me, they really stand out, that little guitar bit. But other than that, it's just not doing it for me. On the Luna is a beautiful song. It's catchy. Each instrument just adds up into this whole beautiful orchestra of sounds, and it's a great song to dance to and have a little boogie. It's a banger. It's such a tune. It sounds a bit like Radiohead, but kind of like Radiohead on Ecstasy, because it's a good kind of Radiohead, I guess. It's basically a more experimental track. It's just not doing it for me. I feel like this particular song is trying too hard, and there's no need to try too hard. Okay, so what stands out to me a lot in the song is the outro. The outro sounds a lot like Born Slippy by Underworld. I really like that though, I like that. And that's kind of where the Cafe Dance, the song that sounds a bit like Radiohead, doesn't do it for me. And this is why this song actually does it for me. And it's because they've done it in their own little way that is original to the band. I'm not saying the other one is like not original, but what I am saying is that it kind of reasons with the band's own sound. And I really like that. I really enjoy that. It makes me want to listen to the song again. I can see them sort of bringing back that aspect of electronic music that was in the 90s, where it's more like dancing type of music. And I would really like them to, because right now the dancing type of music that we get in the charts is really shit. So we really need this type of dancing music on the charts. We don't want whatever there is on the charts right now.
The fox is dead in the garden. The hedges are on fire in the country.
Let's look at it for what it is. It's a last song on the album. It's like an outro to some extent, but a major outro to the whole album. And for that, it really does fulfill its purpose. Now, looking at it in terms of how I feel about it, I'm not a big fan. It's bland. I mean, there are songs that I didn't talk about, like for instance Moonlight, which is just an intro to the song, and yeah, it's good, but it's just a little song. And the same with Surf Part 1, but what I really like about Surf Part 1 is it has this really like eerie thing that it ends on, like this eerie note that it ends on, and it really captures my imagination. I'm all about that eeriness. For me, it's a 4 out of 5, a positive 4 out of 5. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram, on my Twitter. I'll see you next week.